This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer-songwriter, the one and only Juliette Reilly. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at her incredible talent.
I told you everything was copacetic. I made sure you believed me when I said it. That was the last time that we kissed before it ended. And it's still on my lips, it's still on my lips. When I left, I drove off in a hurry. Texted you, I'm fine, no need to worry. You said the last thing that you wanna do is hurt me. But it's still on the list, it's still on the list. When they say that change is good, what they really mean is sorry that it happened. Well, I'm not sorry that it happened. I don't want the memory to leave. Details start fading till I can't see. I love harder than I should. If I focus, I am closer to the magic. Hope you're not sorry that it happened. I don't want the colors to bleed till I only see you in my periphery.
Well, hello, Juliette. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you. And I'm so excited. The audience just got a little sneak peek of your original tune, Periphery. Did I say that right? Periphery.
Yes, it's definitely a good Scrabble word.
It's a good Scrabble word. But it is also a beautiful song. I was telling you off camera, I'm so moved by it. And I want you to let the audience know the impetus behind you writing that song.
Yeah, so that was actually after a really long, kind of painful breakup. But I wrote that like about a year after kind of the initial shock of it. And it's all about how after you kind of process your relationship with somebody, their presence or the hurt of that breakup can fade into the background, or it doesn't feel like as painful. It's sort of in the peripheral vision. But then you're sort of losing that last connection you have to that person. So it's all about sort of not wanting that person to just be in the periphery.
I mean, it's something that we can all relate to now more than ever. I mean, granted, I know that you wrote it based upon a personal experience, but I just, speaking with so many artists all over the world, everyone is dealing with some sort of investigation with relationships in their lives, whether it's with other people or even themselves.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of breakups, at least from my friends and people I know, have been happening throughout COVID and just like the changing world. So
oh yeah. I know. I mean, even in my apartment building, I mean, not to name names, but you know, there were a lot of divorces. We saw a lot of like the first 3 months, it was like, ooh, half of 2E is leaving. Oh, there goes 4M.
Yeah,
here's my husband and I. God bless. We're still together. God bless him.
God. Good.
Okay. Sorry, Juliette. That was a therapy moment. I'll Venmo you later for that. Okay. So moving on, I want to know, Juliette, you have not only obviously an amazing songwriting skill set, but your voice is so amazing and it's so unique. It's got so much nuance and color and texture to it. And I'm curious when you realized that you could sing.
That's really sweet, first of all. I was in 5th grade and I got asked to sing a solo from my choir, and don't ask me why, but it was for graduation, and I sang Good Morning Baltimore from Hairspray. It was just like this big moment for me.
Wait, I'm not like, I'm trying to like, with my director hat on, I almost like want to talk to the principal to be like, I don't know if that's correct for the assignment, but you know what?
It's not.
We're grateful Juliette got to play Tracy Turnblad for 3.5 minutes.
But in 5th grade, I was like, yes, I was killing it. And my dad always says that like he was late because he is always running late, but he came into the theater and as I was singing and he was like, wow, like who's that? Like that, she can really sing. And then got a little closer and was like, holy crap, like that's my daughter. So I feel like then I started to get the affirmation from people and started doing voice lessons and just kind of, my aunt is in the Broadway world, so I would go see her in shows. And
who's your aunt?
Diane Sutherland, or I guess Diane Fratantoni, but she did like, she was the original girl in She Loves Me, and she's been in Cats and Les Mis and all kinds of stuff.
Oh my God! So how cool for you to have like kind of that, dare I say, in your periphery, you know, that is like as an attainable thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I mean, because my parents are completely tone deaf and like they haven't done anything creative, but my aunt was always sort of that presence in my life, where growing up I would see her in shows and be like, oh, that's a thing that you could do. So it was cool.
That's amazing. But Juliette, I also really love the fact that you not only went after your performing, but there obviously was a decision for you at some point to be like, you know what, I'm going to pave my own way. Was there an aha moment for you along your journey where you were like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing?
There was, and it's maybe not what you would think, but I ended up going to school for theater as a freshman. I was in a dance class and I was terrible. Like, I'm a terrible dancer, and I was thinking, well, I love to sing and I love performing, so maybe I'll do theater, just pursue that. And I learned, you know, I was like 18 and I was in a dance class and I went to do a handstand, which the teacher was just like, oh, everyone can do a handstand. And I kicked this girl right in the nose, and like she was bleeding. And I had this moment where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go and like do these auditions and do a musical theater route. But I had always written songs. And so at that school, nobody was really like doing that. And so I was like, that's gonna be my thing. Like, I'm gonna be the writer. So I started writing musicals and a cappella arrangements and things for other really good singers and dancers. And so I was like, yeah, I think like my thing is more in the writing, songwriting.
It's amazing.
So,
but
it's kind of a backwards way to realize that, but yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know, anyone doing a handstand might bring up some PTSD, but that's, you know, that's a given.
Oh yeah, it's definitely triggering for me.
It's a trigger. Okay, Juliette, you know, obviously this has been a tough 18 months for all humans, but especially artists. I'm curious to know what you were able to do throughout the pandemic, you know, to keep your creative juices flowing.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, I think talking to friends, other artists, like some people have had different experiences where because they had so much downtime, they were able to create a lot more. But for me, I initially went into this 6 month to a year period of just like not feeling inspired, not wanting to create, not do anything. But being in Nashville and being around so many creative people and other writers, and my friends, like I kind of slowly got back into it as people started doing virtual writes and then eventually more in-person writes. So initially, like until I moved to Nashville, I wasn't doing any, like I had never done a co-write before. But for me, that's what keeps me going when I don't feel inspired, is to get in the room with someone else.
Amazing. Well, listen, I could speak with you forever, Juliette, but I want to let the audience know, for more on the incredible Juliette, you can read more about her right below this video. Juliette, thank you so much for your time today. And I'm also so grateful that we're connected now.
Me too. It was so nice to meet you.